What is up, everyone? I am so excited for today. So I woke up this morning and I forgot it was a leg day. For some reason I forgot it was a leg day because I'm used to doing a leg day on like the third session of the week, but it's the second session of the week today. And I was like, I want to change it up a bit. So we're doing deadlifts, which I haven't done in a while. But when I first started going to the gym, I made that my thing. I just used to do deadlifts like 3 times a week. Would absolutely spam the shit out of them, and I loved them, to be honest. Like, I'd have a dedicated deadlift session every week. In the very early days, I'd do deadlifts on my pool day, which was ridiculous. Don't know why the fuck anyone would do that, especially if you're trying to gain hypertrophy. But today's just a bit of a fun session, I suppose. Mix things up a bit, keep everything a bit entertaining, and then we'll just carry on the rest of the week as we would normally. But I just thought it'd be something interesting to do. Anyway, as always, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, because you don't want to miss a video, especially ones like these, because these are a proper fucking laugh and just like intense as fuck. It's literally just going to be deadlifts today. So I'm going to take you through a whole like warm-up routine, how to just prepare your body to do deadlifts, because that's really important, especially if you're deadlifting heavy weights. Heavy weight is quite a subjective term, but like, regardless, if it's heavy for you, then you're lifting heavy weight. So that's going to be the key focus today, and then we potentially max out at the end of the session. We'll see how we go. But yeah, enough of that. Let's crack on, and I'll meet you at the gym. Right, so just starting off, this is not an exercise I ever really used to do, but it is scientifically great for warming up the localized muscles used when you're deadlifting. So if you get a resistance band up, if you haven't got this set up, do it on a squat rack just around the hooks. Put a resistance band around hip height, maybe just below hip height. This is so you're able to bring your foot up to it and press down. A lot of footballers use it for like explosive power in their legs, but that is the same type of power we'll be using for deadlifts. So I'm going to be doing that just to warm up our legs a little bit, nice and controlled, and then we'll work into some proper explosive reps first. It's important to note, this shouldn't be like a hard exercise. This is literally just warming up your quads. And this is majorly like sumo specific, but obviously will help you in a conventional deadlift, because especially when you're locking out your knees, but conventional deadlift is more hamstring focused. So if you were doing conventional, I would do more hamstring focused warm-ups. Okay, that's good. Quads warmed up a little bit. Definitely not finished warming up. and we'll literally do some super slow pull-ups. And when I say super slow, I mean on the eccentric, the lowering portion. Obviously on the concentric, you want to be nice and explosive. Also, at the bottom, usually people would say to keep your lats involved. But on this particular day, I'm going to say let your shoulders shrug up so you can allow some decompression of your spine, so it's almost getting 2 in 1. If you don't know what I mean, I'll show you now. Alright, and finally, just going to do some core work. So, I take it most people know leg raises. We're going to do leg raises, but so we come to the outside, move across our body and back down, and then the same way again. And we'll just do some repetitions of them. Right, that's our non-specific warm-up done. Now we'll move on to the actual bar. Do some proper warm-ups with the bar and then go on to our working weights. This weight is 100 kilos, which is 50% of my max. That's more or less a good weight to be warming up at, as in 50% of your max. You should be able to move it with relative ease, and it doesn't tire you out too much. So we're just going to do some slack pulls and some pause reps. Won't do too many of them because they're quite fatiguing, but considering it's a low weight, it's not, you know, it's not a big issue. As always, if you can wear about, it's just safer. So we'll do some slack pulls first. So like I said, on that set, I was really focusing on pulling the slack out the bar first, which you should be on every set and rep anyway. But if you're not very good at thinking about doing that, then that's a good exercise to get you used to it. A lot of the motion on slack pulls is rolling your shoulders back, engaging your lats, and having a slight lift off. But really it should be, as soon as you've sat back a little bit, rolled your shoulders back and engaged your lats, you should have pulled the slack out the bar anyway. So if you're not, you're probably doing something wrong. Let's do some pause reps now. Right, that's all the warm-up reps done. We're going to move on to some actual working weight. We'll chuck on another 20 each side, makes it 140. Oh, all right. And for each increment we do, we'll do like between 3 and 5 reps. There's no point doing much more than that because strength gains are most optimal between like 1 and 6. So we'll do between 3 and 5. That was 5 of 140, so realistically not that hard. But I think I'm just going to do a couple reps of 160, so another 10 each side, and then we'll swap them for 20s at 180, potentially go higher. And a very important thing when deadlifting or doing like heavy movements like a deadlift, you got to give yourself loads of rest. You know, you don't see powerlifters doing big weights with only a couple minutes rest in between sets. So just bear that in mind. Got 160 on the bar, won't be hard, but it is a weight where I start having to push myself a little bit more. You know, not a significant amount, but I do have to work a little bit harder. So now I'm just literally going to do a couple reps of 160. It's definitely hard getting used to deadlifting again. Like, that's a lot heavier than I remember it being. But I think it's more grip that I struggled with as opposed to like whole body strength. So I might do like use my lifting straps as well. I mean the chalk's great, but that's for like to stop your hands slipping as opposed to actual grip. So now, every weight I do, I will do literally just 1 rep and slowly reach my max. So I'll go for 180, 190, 200. Anything higher would be great. But I think my old max about a year ago was 205 or potentially 202.5. So we'll see how it goes. You never know. Like I said, just 1 rep of this. If I can get it. How disappointing would it be if I wasn't filming right now? But I can't even tell. I think that might be my max. because if I try any harder, I'll probably shit my pants. Which means my max is now 20 kilos less than it used to be, or even 25 kilos. Which I suppose potentially makes sense a little bit. But it's interesting to find out, because I've literally just been training hypertrophy for the last year plus, and I mean like exclusively hypertrophy, no strength training at all. So I think I've lost a lot of strength in like the absolute like ballistic strength for like 1 rep, but obviously when it comes to higher reps I'm a lot stronger than I used to be, which makes sense. Scientifically it does make sense, but is somewhat disappointing, I suppose. It's not what I wanted, but you got to do these things to find out where you're at, and to be honest it's not really something that massively bothers me because I don't train for strength anyway. It's just interesting to know, but that means now when people ask what my max is, I have to tell them 180 instead of 205, but who cares, but yeah, that was my deadlift day. Again, it was a bit of a different video and a disappointing one at that, I suppose, in terms of my max, but I hope you lot gained something from it, in terms of warming up for your deadlift and actually performing your deadlift and executing the movement. But yeah, that'll be all from me. As always, if you're new, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a new video like this one, because this was fun, and I'll catch you in my next video for an actual leg day. Peace.